How's it? Welcome into another episode of the Arsenal Standard. I am BG the Bearded Gooner. You guys know all of that. Joining me tonight from Chicago this time, the Globetrotter himself, the real Ryan. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Howdy. At the wife's parents' beautiful home, so we're getting it done on the road.
Yeah, road show, baby. Let's go.
Yeah,
Arsenal
we're doing good,
Standard
man.
road show. Love
Yep.
it. On the West Coast is Mikey Hurst. Mike, what's up? How are you?
You're here, man. Just enjoying the last few games of the World Cup. I'm secondhand watching them because I always have them playing in the background, like it's YouTube or something, just passing by, and I just glance over to check it out. But I'm having fun. And right, I just something that occurred to me. I love the idea that you went into your girlfriend's parents' house and be like, "All right, everybody out. I got to talk about the Arsenal right now."
Hey, well, watch it. It's my wife. Okay, first,
easy,
wife,
easy, Mike.
and you're already toast.
don't get me in trouble talking about girlfriends over here. And I'm in the basement. I'm in the basement, so everyone's upstairs. So yeah, I got free reign down here.
Fuck's sake, bro. That's your basement. I'm doing something terribly wrong with life.
All of us are, believe me. And brother from another mother, co-defendant, partner in crime, all that good shit. We had a little spat yesterday, but we kissed and made up, as we so often do. It's the OG Ars Bros, Ryan. Hi, buddy.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk World Cup and nothing else.
Okay, all right. Well, off you go. It's your show. Have at it. No, kidding. Yeah, so the World Cup is in full swing. We are down to all but one quarterfinal matchup being set. We're not really going to talk too much about specific results, despite us going live right after the U.S. have been knocked out, the last host country to get knocked out tonight by Belgium. Leo Trossard, the Arsenal perspective on all of this. So Leo has had himself quite a World Cup, I think. And he had another assist tonight. Real Ryan, I'll kind of throw it to you. And this is just kind of be like loose chat, whatever. But anything on Leo Trossard, his World Cup so far, and and the irony of the news that we got last week.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's so good, right? Like, he's been absolutely incredible this World Cup. I think, pretty sure, especially after tonight, I think he leads the tournament in chances created. So, like, that's probably pretty good. And I made a joke, and I know Mikey liked it or retweeted or whatever. I'm like, I would have let his contract run out.
Here, Ryan. Here, bro. I'm with you.
So I'm like, because I know we're gonna get into transfers and all that. It's just that, like, he just fits us so well. And, like, when you need someone, he's just always been there. And I was watching, some of his goals for Arsenal. I know we're talking about his World Cup, but dude, like, he's just been so clutch, man. So he's been great. It's a bummer, as it seems, that, we're gonna potentially lose him, which will be sad. But I mean, he's just been such a stud this summer. So I'm really happy for him.
Yeah. OG, you want to add anything on Leo and his World Cup so far?
I don't want to dampen the mood already. All I'll say is I was probably one of the few Americans. I don't want to say I was rooting for USA to lose, but I was rooting for Belgium.
Whoa!
I had a pre-tournament bet. I had Belgium into the quarterfinals, and I cashed.
Oh, okay.
Us beating America, so I was not upset to see us lose. And the third goal was I was audibly laughing. I almost woke my son up. It was very, very funny. I enjoyed it very much.
That was Mustafi levels of nonsense.
Yeah, I will say though, it kind of sucks because you see all these supporters coming from different countries, and you see them at like watch parties, and you see how much they invested into their team, and see what it means to them. Fake fan or not fake fan, still, like, my eyes seeing them and seeing them, like, with face paint on, with wigs on, dresses, wearing your team's colors. It's cool, and it sucks that I never felt that way about the United States. I mean, we were never really good, so I guess but even still, like you see people from Cape Verde, you see people that have never been here before, like how much this means to them. I could care less about the American team. Obviously, as everyone knows, I'm all in Germany, and we obviously got knocked out, so I'm obviously not happy about that. But it's really cool seeing all these people from different countries celebrating, and I love it. And I love, and it's funny because in the quick little green room talk, these three aren't really the hugest international football fans. I absolutely love the World Cup. It was how I was introduced to the sport on television. It's like all I watched, that and the Euros, just constantly. So it was great, and I loved it every 4 years, or every 2 years, including Euros. And yeah, I'm excited, and it's, honestly, I think it's been the best World Cup in quite some time. It's very, very, very entertaining, so that's always good.
Yeah, Mikey, you want to jump in on anything there?
Just piggybacking on what Ryan said, part of me thinks is that when you're American, you're so spoiled with so many different sports that maybe we achieve like a little bit less buy-in on the international front. Like, like that's just the one thing that I've like, I could come to the conclusion of, because I know a lot of Americans that are like that. Were like, they rather watch club football than international football. I'm sure there's people out there that absolutely, love international football. Ryan mentioned he got into it, but like me, the best thing of this World Cup that I could say for me, and as you guys know, I have like split nationalities all over the place. Mexico went through like 8 years with all fucking color kits except their traditional green, white, and red. And I'll say that when I saw them playing in like the traditional flag colors after seeing them play in fucking pink and red and black and white. And I understand they're trying to sell kits and they sell it well. But I was like, it would drive me crazy and be like, my God, you guys are the only fucks to not wear your flag's color. Like, I understand you want it. But so watching the traditional green, white, and red again, it gave me like a little 1998 watching it with dad vibes. And it was like, it's been a really long time. 1998 wasn't the last time, but that's like the one of the World Cups that's the most cemented in my head, and most likely it's because I sat there and watched it with dad the entire time. But watching that kit, the red, white, and the green, white, and red again gave me all the feels. I will admit to that. But other than that, I mean, we spoke about it briefly before the pod. I got over the loss very quick. Immediately started congratulating a few Englishmen that I know. No big deal there. I wasn't expecting to win the whole thing. So like, I'll live. And then by all means, throughout the entire tournament, every time like France wins, I'm like, okay, that's one more game that fucking Saliba has to play. Oh, good, Brazilian's out. I'm like, cool. Let's get this Guimarães deal out of the way, and let's rest up Gabriel. And like literally, I'm watching it through the lens of Arsenal. And realistically, like, I don't like the idea that Declan Rice is playing hurt. If anything, I wanted Mexico to win more for the sanity, for my sanity and the health of the Arsenal players than it was because like I was rooting for Mexico, as silly as that may seem. Circle back to your initial question, BG. I got to tell you, Trossard, for me, I'm seeing a lot of revisionism, and I'm not liking it, bro. Okay, all of a sudden, oh, I'm gutted. Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Where was that fucking energy for 2 to 3 years? Oh, we got to upgrade. Oh, he's so shit. Meanwhile, he's just putting up better like assist and goal numbers than 90% of our squad. Mr. Clutch, dude, like 2 seasons ago when we didn't win the league, he scored some of the most ridiculous clutch fucking goals in the entire season. And I'm thrilled that he's leaving and was able to add a title to his name, because like it cements him. And they were making, and I'll ask this of the group, if you don't mind me side swapping, I'll bring this up to you guys. I generally want you guys to join the debate, because somebody made reference and said he leaves a cult hero. And somebody says, no, he leaves a club legend. He helped us win a league. So I want to know where you guys stand on that. Because like for me, I've always absolutely loved the player. I've gutted to see him leave. He's great for squad. He plays in multiple positions. I'm more with Ryan in the sense that I would rather for me, Arsenal currently with the revenue and how everything is going, 20 million is like nothing for them. So like I don't think this is about the 20 million. I think this is about the actual making space in the squad. But
Yeah.
I'm generally curious to see if both of them leave. If both of them leave, I have no fucking idea what they're gonna do. I'm completely clueless. But I've always been one of those people that thought like Trossard could not only play on the left flank, he could probably also play left 8 and in false 9. So I've always held him very, very highly for his tactical ability. It's a nice battle that Arsenal's Ryan and I have always had. Right, every time Trussell would score, I would just text Ryan like, "Who the fuck scored, Ryan? Can you type his name, please?" And that's always been like a thing between him and I. So yeah, man, sad to see him go, but we were always going to get to a point with Arsenal where somebody's favorite was going to leave the club.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those things, right? Because we got rid of all the controversial people that everybody's like, oh my god, can't wait for Ozil to leave, Aubameyang to leave, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Niles is a bad apple, all this shit. Now you're like,
His
fuck,
mom's
maybe.
a bad apple.
Yeah, there you go. Not Guendouzi, of course. I hope apologizes.
Whoa, easy, Mike, easy.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like now we're at the point where like Ethan Winery doesn't play a lot, but we have a soft spot for him. Martinelli did brilliantly in the World Cup, and like we all like Nelly, and he speaks very highly of the club. Truss is a utility player. You know, you can make an argument for like, I would say all of the squad. I mean, I guess not for Kepa, if you really want to be like dickish, because he's like
fuck Kepa.
Yeah, there you go. He barely featured and stuff like that. But I think any departure is going to be a departure where you're kind of like, I'm sad to see you go.
Oh,
So
I think that's natural with any championship trophy winning team. You know, you kind of hate to see that team get broken up, but it's the business of the sport, of sport, that those things are inevitable.
Tell me he's a legend though.
He's not.
Say the words, goddammit.
He's not. You know what? I'll give you cult hero. I'll absolutely give you cult hero. I'm not giving you club legend. There isn't anyone on this team right now that if they left tomorrow that I would say they're a club legend. Nobody. And I mean that. I mean that. Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard. But even those guys, I mean, the last two, you know, if you want to talk about, you know, Bukayo coming, you know, up through the hill end and boy, club legend, those are some big shoes, man. Like when you go back over the history of this club and you look at who the club legends are that everybody recognizes, there's no one in this team right now that I put in that rarefied air. But Leo will be. That's not to. I'm not trying to cut Leo off at the knees to make anybody seem taller. He's cult hero for sure. I would agree with that.
I love how you summarize that, BG, just because throughout our bad days, our bad years at the Emirates, there was like an evolution in the birth of a new term called Emirates legend.
Yeah.
And we would say Emirates legends because we had to safeguard, like, okay, nobody's fucking Vieira here, right? No. So we started saying, oh, Emirates legend for sure. And it was our way of safeguarding ourselves and saying, yeah, they've been great for us, but you know, let's fucking be real here.
Right. Yeah.
You know, yeah. So
sure.
So that's an interesting take, dude.
Yeah. Anybody else? Real Ryan, you want to jump in on the cult hero club legend?
Yeah, I mean, he'll never have to buy a pint in North London ever again. But he, you know, club legend is. I'm with you. That's a much shorter list. But gosh, yeah, I'll miss my boy, man. I'll miss him for sure.
And man, like, just not to Bogart in here. I remember like the day that it was confirmed that he was coming in January. It's just like I'm like, this is a fantastic signing. And that was when we were in on
Mudryk.
Yeah. And it's like, well, we're not spending $100 million or whatever it is on that guy.
Sliding door.
Boy. Bullet dodged, boys.
But I do think if he came to Arsenal, it might have been different. But Chelsea was a disaster then. But that's a different story.
Man, like Leo Trossard at Brighton was still this player, like just clutch goal after clutch goal after clutch goal. And
yeah, dude, he had a hat trick at Anfield, dude. He was a stud.
Yep. OG, you look like you can't wait to jump on this one.
No. I was laughing at Mike.
I'm trolling in the chat, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. now I'm seeing it.
So I want to start off by saying if anybody has Leo Trossard as their favorite player in the team currently right now, you could block me at Arspros Ryan. No, but seriously,
That's harsh.
I'm like, if he's your favorite player, it's insane. So I'm like really like in the middle here of the fact that like I understand what he's done for us, and he's been some clutch player, man. I don't think there's a player I'd have to go really far back to name a player that I would consider clutch. And that, I mean, it's him. He was a Maverick, and a Maverick is something that we've been really, I think, missing in the club and needing. And I think we had it with him. But on the other side, I don't think he's good enough. I'm not upset to see him go. Am I cheering? Am I going to drive him to Besiktas? No. But we need to get better. And he's one of, you have your favorites, you have your team that you love, and I love this team. There's not one player on the team except Kepa. There's not one player on the team I don't like. But like, you have to get rid of players, you have to upgrade, you have to make moves. And like, if I'm sacrificing pieces, like if I'm playing chess, I'm sacrificing pieces. Leo's probably one of the first ones to go. I wish we got a little more for him, but like we didn't buy him for that much. I think we had like a 7 million. We lost 7 million for him, and like last year of his contract, he's pretty old. I'm not upset, and I think you said it. I think it's more of just like creating space in the roster because we need to upgrade. But I don't know. I keep going back and forth because I do genuinely like him. I enjoyed him on this team. I'm not going to miss him. I think he did a lot of very clutch things for this club, but then there's other times where I'm watching him play and I'm like, how is this guy starting for Arsenal Football Club? We're challenging for the trophy and he's getting just pushed off the ball, manhandled. And hopefully like we can, and I'm not trying to poo him. I'm not trying to like take the shine off him, but I think it's more of just like, we need better. Like I want to see an upgrade. I want to see someone who could be that Maverick, be that person that can be clutch, but also can just keep that flow, keep that steadiness, be tough on the ball. And it sucks too, because I feel like, and you guys, I'm sure all going to three of you yell at me at the same time, I don't see the creativity that he has for Belgium. The creativity he has for Belgium, I don't see it in Arsenal. I never saw it in an Arsenal shirt. So like that's why too. Like I see him doing all these things for Belgium, and I'm kind of just like,
if anybody's gonna yell at you for it, it's gonna be me.
Like where was that?
And you know what I'll say about it.
I know. I
about what?
You know what I'll say about it.
About what?
About the lack of creativity for Arsenal that he shows with Belgium.
I don't know what you're gonna say, but anyways,
I'll ask one question. Is that on the player?
It's right there, Ryan.
Yes,
yes.
Yes, we're never gonna agree, Tanner. It is 100% on the player. But yeah, so like it's bittersweet. But I think this is definitely like a push in the right direction, and I'm excited to see who we bring in. I know the person we
coach the creativity out of them too. What?
Dude, we could turn this into a USA podcast, USA World Cup podcast. Since you don't like, I'll tell everybody. I mean, this isn't like I'm not like outing you, but like you don't like Arsenal.
By the way, I keep laughing at. I'm sorry, I keep laughing at the private chat.
I'm not even looking at the private chat. No, it's funny, but no. I know people are linking us, and it's I think I've talked about it. I know I'm kind of going off topic and kind of changing a little bit, but Christos Zoulis, Greek international, forget what team he's on, but that's the guy that's kind of replacing Trossard, and I think he's a perfect replacement. I think he is what Trossard is, which is someone who takes up pockets, likes to move the ball. He can create, he can carry, he can pass. But is he an upgrade on Trossard? That is something that we don't know yet. I don't think he is. I don't think he's an upgrade right now, but I think he is that guy that can be Trossard-esque, someone that, to fill his kind of not necessarily position, but just his personality, his style of play. And he's younger, so we definitely have time to bet him in. But yeah, I'm excited to see where we go from here because things have to change.
OG plays for Club Brugge.
Club Rouge, yeah.
Does anybody? Sorry, just because he's
No,
somebody
go ahead,
like
Mike. Go ahead.
for 2 questions because I asked him in the comments. Is that confirmed? And
What, the Solis thing?
that's
No.
his name. Yes. Has that
There's
been
no
confirmed?
Solis?
Yeah.
No,
and
there's
does
nothing there yet. It's
Okay, and
The fact that you had to ask that question should know. I would think you would know if it was confirmed.
It would be all over Twitter's. Yeah. And then 2, Ryan, just for the sake of you, because you're saying like he's the Leo Trossard replacement. Are you not concerned that he made it to this age and still never made it to a big league?
Solis,
Is that
meaning Christos Solis.
yeah? Because I feel like my guy make it to La Liga or something. Get out of Belgium. He's in Belgium, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Club Rouge is Belgium.
It's just I don't you made it to 27 and nobody plucked you. Like where's Crystal Palace or Brighton to buy you for $5 million and then resell you for 50?
He's 24 though.
24. Okay.
I mean, it's kind of funny. BX, I think we're kind of drinking from the same cough medicine. I was going to bring up Dennis Undov on Stuttgart.
You're only saying that because he plays for Stuttgart. Shut up.
Well, yeah.
Just kidding.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah, I am because I've watched him play.
No, he's a very good player.
Dennis
make sure everybody knows
Undov
I'm
played
not-
for Brighton, and like I guess this kind of doesn't really answer your question, Mike, because Dennis Undov did play for Brighton. But like my point is Dennis Undov was not good in the Premier League. He really hasn't been good. He kind of just came along for Stuttgart. He actually joined Stuttgart a couple seasons ago, and he was like fighting for position. I think it was last season was when he kind of had his coming out party. Now he's kind of starting more regularly in the team, and he's 29. He's a striker, and he's 29, and now he's announcing himself. I think people just announce themselves at different stages of their career. I think you have players that peak too soon, peak early. They can't keep up with the physical demand or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying this guy's the answer. I don't know what he's going to do for Arsenal. I don't know, but based on his play style, from what I've seen of him, his personality is very similar to Trossard's. I think he can offer more, but again, it's like the Gilchrist conversation. I need to see him in the Premier League. I need to see what he can do. And again, but and on top of that, like this isn't going to be our left wing signing. I think if we really want to bring in a left winger, someone's coming big. I don't know how big, but it's going to be bigger than Christos. That's for sure.
Well, this is the only thing that I was going to say on the Trossard cult hero, club legend kind of thing. I think the team, the squad, will go down as a legendary squad simply because 22 years, first league title, Champions League final, Carabao Cup final, basically all but wire to wire champion. So I think this particular squad will go down in a bit of a legendary status, but there's no player that I would pluck out of this group right now and say that they've achieved that. So we're at almost 25 minutes here on Leo Trossard. I don't want to keep going there. So I'm going to throw it out to the three of you as far as World Cup Arsenal players are concerned. Is there anything that anybody wants to bring up? Or, I mean, we've kind of kicked down the wall of the transfer talk at this point. So do we just want to get right into that? or does anybody else have anything on?
Well,
the
the only thing I
World
want
Cup
to see of the World Cup talk for Arsenal players, I want them all to lose and I want them all to come home. So England bye, France bye. I mean, it's funny because I was talking to my friends and a lot of them are USA fans, and I was like, all right, so who's everyone rooting for? What are we all saying? And you guys are not gonna like who I pick, who I'm rooting for. But yeah, the teams are kind of everywhere. And I'll just say it, I don't really care. I'm really pulling for Norway.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that.
I think they're a fun team. I love their home shirts. I love the rowing thing. It's the coolest thing. Like the fans have just brought so much energy. And this is gonna get me blacklisted from a lot of Arsenal podcasts, dude. I don't know what it is, but when Holland puts a Norway shirt on, he's not too bad. He's not so bad. And I seen a lot of his social media stuff, like the World Cup, like him going to Dallas and meeting in New York, eating in a deli, Cat's Deli. He's not. I don't hate him. I really don't. But once he puts on that powder blue, he's gonna be dead to me again. But
that's the joy of the World Cup or the Euros.
Yeah,
and like that, because I don't disagree with anything you just said. By the way,
but it's also tough too, is because he's a very good player, and I know BG, you talked about it a bunch, and I think we've all can agree. Like he's just like an alien. Like he's just that one. Like we talk about like that one player, that one striker. Like we talked to, we need a striker. We need to bring somebody in. And like, is there ever a perfect player that we could bring in? And I know BG, you said it a bunch of times. Like the perfect player is Holland, which we ain't getting. And I think it's true. Like he's an alien, and like he kind of proved it. Playing against Brazil.
There's just no one in the world.
He's just he
literally is one of a kind.
He could touch the ball a couple times. He could touch the ball a couple times, and you're never gonna be like, oh, Holland only touched the ball twice this half. It's like
his second goal.
The third touch is gonna be a goal.
That second goal is unbelievable. Yeah. Like it's not even that it's an unbelievable goal. Like, oh my god, I can't believe he scored. Like, no, it's not that. It's he stepped into it. He didn't run up to it. It wasn't like he paused, and it was almost like, wait, I want you to look me in the eyes right now, and I want you to understand what it is that is about to happen to you. I'm about to Erling Braut Holland that ass right now. Look at me. Look at me. Wha! And it's in the back of the net. I don't hate anything that you just said.
But also too, Norway is an underdog team, and I like underdogs. I've always liked underdogs.
Well,
and
all right.
They don't. I think it's their first time qualifying in quite some time. So, yeah.
So all right.
So
we know
all I got left is Colombia.
So is that who you're rooting for? I'm very curious now. Right? Like
I gotta go. No. Who else is in the? I mean, I continue to think Spain are heavy favorites. I think that game between France and Spain is going to be pretty interesting. I really want to see Colombia and Argentina advance, just because the Colombia-Argentina rivalry since the last cup that they played here in Miami, it's very heated right now. It's like the modern day version of Chile-Colombia. So just for the spectacle of watching them play, I don't expect Egypt to beat Argentina, so I'm hoping that Colombia beats Switzerland.
Wow.
On the Arsenal front, I would say, does anybody think, assuming Martinelli stays with us, are we going to ever see him play left 8, guys? Or is that a strictly Brazil thing? That Brazil thing, I mean, I was just completely baffled to see him there. I've always said he'd be a wonderful fullback in Italy. So I saw a tweet linking him to Milan, and I was going to share that, say, okay, I could live with this. And then the first reply was fullback ? And I laughed so fucking hard because I would say that just to talk shit about him, saying he's horrible going forward, but his work ethic is going to make him a great wingback in Italy. The fact that some random Italian just asked fullback ? I thought that shit was fucking hilarious. That's the only thing on the Arsenal front in players that I have. I hope England doesn't win the whole thing because they're going to be playing the final when the league starts. That's what that would mean. And that would really suck to not have them for the first month or two. And outside of that, I will just say that, boys, I was proven right. He's now retired from football. Neymar's a fucking tool. And that's all I got for the World Cup, guys.
Real Ryan, I'm giving you the last word on this, buddy.
You ain't wrong.
Oh, that's so funny. It's tough, right? Because I know how much these guys want to play for their country and want to win the World Cup, and that would be truly special. But like, I'm honestly getting a little worried about the start of our season with like our entire spine, like that's going to need like months off, and then just the reports, and maybe they're confirmed or not. Like, Saliba's going to need some like back procedure, like after the World Cup. It's just like, great, it's like we're coming into a situation where we're trying to defend, and we're already dealing with nonsense all over again after a super long season, and then the travel with the World Cup and everything on the back of it. It's just like I want everyone to lose and come home, but I also I'm rooting for the guys that are still in it. So Declan and Bakaya, it's great, but yeah, I'm just like obviously just thinking about Arsenal, and I'm like, great. So that's why when we talk about transfers, I get a little skittish because I feel like, we better make sure that we're covered, because some of these guys are going to have to, be the ones that are playing a lot of minutes to start the season, and, for who knows how long. And especially the one I'm worried about the most. I mean, both of them, but like Declan Rice will need a break, and hopefully he doesn't get injured, God forbid. But if Saliba really is out for months, not loving that at all. So I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if France goes far, because it's supposed to be a postseason surgery anyway. So even if he keeps playing, I guess it doesn't really matter if he loses now and comes home. I guess he could do the surgery earlier, but it still looks like he'll miss time. So, yeah, I mean, from that lens, it's kind of worrying me a little bit. And I know, especially since it's the World Cup too, like transfers take a little bit longer. You're not really going to go in for guys normally when they're in and around the games and whatnot. So yeah, it's just adding extra pressure on making sure we get that done and that we're ready to, defend the title. Who want to win? I mean, Norway's been fun. France has been super fun with,
France is probably my number 2 team, because like you said, with Saliba, I think he's going to get surgery no matter what. So he's going to be out for no matter what. But I know BG said, well, I don't want you guys to bring up like Mbappe or Elise, but dude, I like watching Michael Elise play football.
Yeah.
He's probably he might be my favorite player to watch, non-Arsenal player to watch. I was watching him play against Paraguay. I've been watching him all tournament, and I was texting one of my friends. I was actually texting 3-point sniper too, and I was like, dude, I would just pay that man his money, pay anybody their money, like pay Bayern whatever they need. Like, dude, I would love, like, I don't know. I heard noise. I didn't see what he's doing. I can only imagine.
He's doing a glut 5,000.
Yeah.
No,
He does best.
He said, pay that man. I was doing Teddy KGB.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know if that's.
You said pay that man.
Yeah, rounders.
Yeah, I know what you were doing. I just don't know if he did that.
Yeah, but yeah, that'll.
No.
Don't do that again.
Yeah, I love Michael Elise.
You could have done the Oreo bit. You didn't need to do that.
Yeah, I said Oreo bit. But no, yeah, I definitely like. It sucks the Saliba thing, but I'm like self-say I want to watch Elise play, and I have French relatives, so I'd be happy for them. And France are just so good. Like I almost so good. I want them to win because like I think they just like deserve it. And it's like no one deserves anything. You have to go out there, you have to play the game, you have to win. I get that, but like you just look at their their lineup, and you're just like, so dude, fun. Like, you deserve a World Cup. Like I want you to have this.
When you have that much talent on one team, I agree with you. It's like, dude, like just go win it, man.
Like Olise, Mbappe, and
Doué and Barcola and Dembele. It's like, all right,
you're just like
Saliba and Upamecano, like they're just loaded, dude.
It is
just so much fun.
Yeah, on that French team. So, all right, so that'll do it, I guess, for the World Cup portion of tonight's episode. So I guess we will move into transfers. So we've covered the Trossard thing for those of you who've been living under a rock. There are confirmed reports from David Ornstein that a deal has been struck with Besiktas in Turkey for 18 million euros plus 2 million euros in add-ons, bringing that deal to a grand total of 20 million euros, which is probably in the neighborhood of about 16 and a half, 17 million pounds. So overall, not a bad little bit of overall business. I don't think from Arsenal, if we're taking a 10 million pound loss on a 32-year-old player who has contributed the way that he has, I can live with that. I guess we'll get into the other pretty much confirmed news. Jeremy Monga, who was one of the first players linked with a move to Arsenal this summer from Leicester, that deal has now fallen through thanks to those clans up north, Manchester City. They've hijacked that deal now for a reported £10 million to bring in Jeremy Monga. When Leicester were asking 12, we offered, I think, 6.5, I believe was the number that I saw. And then City came in and were like, hey, thanks for doing all of our work for us. We know what they want. And if you like him, he'll probably fit in well with us too. So we're going to go get him. The only thing I will say on this is, I know nothing about the player. I've not seen him play 1 minute. I didn't look up anything on YouTube, and I tend to not do that simply because doing that, like, all I feel like I'm going to see if I look up things like that are the player's best moments. Well, that's not what I want to see. There's no context there to me. So I know nothing about the player, but I will trust that if Arsenal don't think he's worth 10 million, and Leicester wanted 12, I'm quite certain they can find or develop another left winger, young left winger that they can either here again develop or bring in at the price point that they feel comfortable with. I will say that OG, you brought that up in the in our group chat and basically said, is this another same old Arsenal kind of thing? To me, no. I don't buy into that at all. I think we had a valuation on the player. He's 16 years old. And he's playing for a team that was in the championship. They got relegated because of a points deduction. They would not have been relegated had it not been for the points deduction, just to put that out there. They were not so bad that they got relegated to League One. But I don't think I don't think this is the same old Arsenal of 2017, the penny pinching, we can't afford that. I think they had a valuation on the player. They didn't want to meet what Leicester, the price that Leicester put out for him, and City came in and swooped and, okay, off you go. I would say the best of luck, but I don't like you, so I hope you fail miserably at everything that you do. That's Manchester City, and if Jeremy Monga goes there, then I hope he fails miserably. So, Mike, Jeremy Monga, what do you got? Anything?
I had no idea who he was either. Ignorant towards anything out of the league for the most part. You guys know this. This is well documented. I watch Milan, I watch Arsenal, and I watch nothing else. So unless he played for the Arsenal or against the Arsenal, I would have probably never seen him. I will say that I would assume that for reports to come out, I would assume that Arsenal had put in a lot of work. And while I understand that, City came in and almost doubled our bid, the player could have also said, hey guys, I'm already down this path with the Arsenal, and maybe ask them for a little bit more money or something. And he could have forced a hand, right? We hear it a lot where players that only won Arsenal, Declan Rice, I don't know we'll never know if it was just media crap for like clicks or whatnot, but apparently like Manchester City also inquired about Declan Rice. We know fairly sure there was substantially more reports about this, that Liverpool thought that Zubimendi was all but done. So, it's, yes, we lost out on this teenager. We don't know how everything played out, but we've done it too to other people. So that right there, to other clubs, that automatically saves us from the same old Arsenal thing. I believe, because like I said, Liverpool were champions. Everybody assumes Zubimendi was going to go there, and we all saw the meltdown that happened with him. I think there's another player. I can't recall. There was another player that was certainly going to another team. I feel like we did it to like Spurs like 3 times over. It was like Eza and Kapia and somebody else. But I'm saying I'm relaxed. BX and I were just agreeing in the live chat where like he says he's pretty calm about the transfers. I am too. Like I have Google search and or refresh Twitter with the hopes of getting transfer news less than I have in years, to be completely honest with you guys. So last summer I panicked a lot. Business was good. The team won. Now they're just rebuilding and fine tuning and perfecting the squad, and looking for like weak points or single points of failure. And I'm just kind of chill, even with the departure of Trossard, I'm not like, oh my god, for fuck's sake, why isn't his replacement in the door? I'm just kind of like, they'll get something done.
Well,
I will say that
Brazil,
I really
but
like the
Brazil
new.
did just lose a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
Calma.
for sure.
Calma.
Yeah.
Vinny's coming.
Vinny's coming. Vinny's coming. And you know what's
Sorry.
funny is that I saw a tweet saying Guimaraes and Vinny, come, and I was like, I would be willing to accept Vinny if we get Guimaraes, because I like Guimaraes so much. So I'll allow Vinny to come to the carpet if it means getting Guimaraes. Okay, we have a specific number of Brazilians that we have to keep. So that's my son talking to me from outside in the backyard. We a certain number of Brazilians that we need to keep in the squad, so that would be good. Speaking about Brazilians in the squad, I'm just going to completely sideswipe this. Last I heard from Gabriel Jesus was like a statement from him and or his agent saying they don't want to leave Arsenal. Holy shit, if that guy sticks around one more season, boys, it's going to be crazy. But yeah, on Manga, man, I'm chill, and I'm going to agree with BG. I don't think this is the same old Arsenal.
I just, real quick before Real Ryan, I come to you on the Jeremy Manga thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you feel on Guimaraes, and I'm not necessarily asking. We'll get there in a minute, but I'm just thrilled to hear that there is someone else out there, Mike, that likes Guimaraes as much as I do, because he's, to me, I'll come back to it. I'm going to write it down. Real Ryan, if you've got anything on Jeremy Manga, and then OG, piggyback right off that if you've got anything to add on Jeremy Manga.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it quick. I mean, I'm not really that like bent out of shape. It's annoying because it seems like, Hand Arsenal basically said it was done. So
right.
And when he says something, for most times it's happened. And he even was kind of talking shit about the club, just saying we fumbled it. But like, I'm not going to get bent out of shape. Like, he seemed like a super talent and one for the future, whatever. But we literally have the Quintero twins at home, so we have two seemingly very high valued. I think Edwin's the right winger, and then his brother is an attacking midfielder. So like, I like that we're doing deals like this. Just take a shot. I mean, whatever. If it would have got done for 6.5 or 7 million, and you kind of see what happens, I like that. The fact that we didn't get it, not super bent out of shape, and with City doing that, the same thing happened with Naipan. Where's he at? He was at Middlesbrough or something. I think he played 20 games this year, 0 goals, 0 assists. So like,
yeah, that's
okay,
a real
man,
good shout. That's a really good
yeah. I
shout.
mean, like, cool, go for it. You know what I mean? So like, stuff like this happens. We have all these super kids, and they're supposed to be, the next whatever, and you never know. So we had a number, and Leicester City wanted more, and City got in there and probably doubled it and probably gave them really good wages. I'm sure that's what they do. So cool, go for it.
Calma. OG.
Very, yeah.
Interesting. So going into the transfer window, I have the mindset of our job is to defend the title. We are the title holders. We must defend it. And we need to win again. And it's tough because when you see a player like Manga, I think he's a great player. He's really good 1v1. He's very direct. A lot of things that I think this team's missing. But yeah, I don't really care. And he's young, so he can be molded. I know BG doesn't want to do that because he hates Arsenal, but he would be a very interesting person to accompany Max Dowman for the future. And I think that's what he was. I know that's what he'd be, a future signing. We were planning on loaning him back. I don't know if it was to Leicester, but the plan was to loan him when we signed him. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a loss. I don't think we need to be in a race with City for a 16-year-old, because again, it's almost like in the movie Draft Day, the dude writes, what is it? Kevin Costner writes the Dutan. He writes the guy's name on his hand at the beginning of the day, whatever his name is. Like, I have to draft
matter
him no
what,
matter
yeah.
what. I think at the end of the day, like that's what I did. I wrote on my hand beginning of this summer is defend the title. That's all I care about. And as someone who loves the kids, Chubby for the kids, I love seeing the future, and I love seeing us really recruit, and I love seeing the academy grow. We just hired the director of our academy, and yeah, I think he would have been great. He would have been. He's the youngest to ever start for Leicester City. He's the youngest goal scorer in the championship, just over 16 years old. I think he could have done great things for us. But I end up falling in line with you guys. It's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. I don't want to overpay for a 16-year-old because at the end of the day, we must defend our castle. We must defend the title. That's what I care about. And honestly, and I agree with Mike, I'm just not worried. I would like to make some signings because I do think there are a few players, like the Leo Trossards of the world. I gotta real quick say I don't know if I feel that way about Martinelli. I know Mike's not a big fan. I saw Martinelli playing more of a 10 than a left 8 for Brazil. I like the flexibility that Martinelli brings to the Brazil team. I'm curious if Arteta's taking notes and may use him in a more utility role. That could maybe buy him a year or two with this team if he wants to stay. But again, at the end of the day, defend the title. And I genuinely think, I guess this will be my hot take for the show. If we don't make any signings this window, I still think we're favorites to win the title again. Now will we win it? That's another story. But I definitely think if we don't make any signings this summer or any outgoings, we're favorites still. Teams have to catch up to us.
It's so
But
funny
it's not without saying we need to make moves. I think we should make moves. But I'm not worried about it. Like Mike said, like there's been countless seasons where I'm refreshing Arsenal on Reddit. I'm refreshing Twitter. I'm checking. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? Like I need to be constantly. I don't feel that way. I think the manga thing was something I was really invested in because of the need in that position and what he offered to us. And when Max Dowman was the craze, I was hearing about training manga, and I'm like, ooh, that'd be fun. Manga and Dowman, like that was interesting. And yeah, fine, but that's not something now. And I'm worried. Not worried. We need to defend the title. All bets are off. We must defend this ship.
It's interesting that you say that you think we would be favorites because I've said this before, and I know I've said it to you specifically before. And I was thinking it while you were just talking, that if we made no incoming signings, no outgoing signings, but I'll give you this caveat, that it's the same team next season, but everybody stays healthy. Everybody begins the season healthy. Maybe I understand that players are going to need a break so that there will be some very heavy squad rotation at the beginning of the season. This team, as currently constructed, is good enough to win the title again. And I've said, but I don't need to see, it will happen because it's just the way that this sport works. There will be incomings and there will be outgoings. That's just the way it works. But I'm very much like the three of you. I'm very calm about this. And if there is an outgoing, then there needs to be a better incoming. Not even equal to. There needs to be a better incoming because at this point, all we really do now is, title of the show, we raise the standard. One thing that I want to kind of just throw out there, the better we get, the smaller the pool of players available that make us better get. That significantly shrinks. And it is very, very small right now. There are not many players in the world that are going to make us that really take us to another level. I mean, there are players that yes, improve our, a certain position. We can improve the left wing. We're not improving on Declan Rice, in my opinion. We're not improving on Gabriel or Saliba, in my opinion. We're just not. Those we may have some of the best players in the world at their position already here, but I just think this team is currently constructed, and again, there will be change. But I think I would absolutely ride into this upcoming season with the roster as is right now, and I'd feel pretty good about it. The only reason that I wouldn't feel good about it is for the opportunity to have a conversation about said new player and the excitement that that new player brings. Like, oh, it's a new signing. Oh my God. Like, yeah, let's go. New signing. Everybody gets all excited, but that's it. That's really all it is for me. So Bruno Guimaraes, Mike, you already kind of touched on it.
I was so upset when he moved to Newcastle.
Right.
Followed him for a really long time. I really liked Paqueta too when he had some good season with Lyon, and then he ended up playing for West Ham, and mostly because I had the opportunity of watching him play in Milan. Two very different players, obviously. Paqueta didn't hit the heights I was expecting, but Guimaraes has proven to be solid forever now. So, and I understand disciplinary action, temper, and everything. I like to believe that we would be able to overcome that and just like coach him out of him. I think he would be in less wound up situations at the Arsenal. The way we don't play that high intensity, high press most of the time at the Arsenal. We play in a different way, so maybe it wouldn't require him to be that wound up.
Arteta's already proven that he can coach a lot of things out of players. So
yeah,
I would assume he can. Wow, come on, man! Nothing, like not even a facial reaction to that.
I mean, I knew
you're just wrong. I think it's funny now. It's just funny.
Now I just say it because I want to stir you up, but I didn't even get a facial reaction.
Mike does it. Mike does enough for both
anyway,
of you.
Mike,
It's
please,
okay.
Mike, please continue on.
To your point,
I love him.
I love him, and to your point about building our squad, and as the squad roof continues to elevate and our floor continues to elevate, I do think, like you said, the pull is smaller, and I think we're going to move away. This is just what I believe. The last 2 seasons, I think it was, we were bringing in 4 to 6 players. I think this is more of a 3 players, 80, 90 million or up type of summer. I don't
80 or 90 million each, you mean?
Yes.
For each player. Okay.
Yeah, upwards. I think that's just how I mean, sure, the guy from Bruges is an opportunity. Manga is an opportunity. It's not going to prevent us. But as far as first team players, I don't think we're aiming to get I don't think we're pulling off. I mean, I say we're pulling off Ngappia and Mosquera were brilliant fucking deals. And maybe they'll keep their eyes open for that. But left wing, they talk about Barcola, Rogers. Those are the 2 that we've seen the most linked with us. Those are deals, 80, 90, 100 million plus. So that's what I'm expecting for. If anybody's going to walk into our starting 11, it's going to cost a pretty penny. So, I don't foresee us signing 5 players. I foresee us signing 3 starting 11 players, so to say. But generally interested to see how everything plays out, because now we're back to the same conundrum in a different way that we had with Malu Skelly last summer, right? Last summer we thought it was going to be no, we don't need a left back anymore, and then we just didn't see him play, and then we saw him play at the end of the season, and all of a sudden he's an outstanding, number 6, and all of a sudden we're like, okay, now we got to revisit this, but we're still linked with Guimaraes. So it's curious to see. I'm curious to see how many minutes he gets out, and surely no way he goes back to just being ignored for 90% of the season, only to ball out again, right? Surely he's overcome the bench. Mikel Arteta said he was hard on him. Kid just kept his head down, continued working. he seems to be one of those players, like a lot of people say Bukayo Saka kind of represents what Arsenal is as a whole, as a person, like encapsulates club's value. Miles Lewis-Skelly isn't too far off, man. Like he's down to earth. He's always staying humble. There's a joke to be made there. His off time, he didn't kick up dust, not making it to England. He's jogging for fundraisers. He's a very, very level-headed young player. So generally curious to see how that's going to impact our starting 11 or his minutes. But if he goes back to just riding the bench for like 70-80% of the, I'm going to be so confused. All that said, between Declan Rice and Zubimendi being completely washed after this World Cup, I think Miles Lewis-Skelly will probably start for the first like month or two of the season.
Yeah. The only other thing I'll say about Bruno G, and then Real Ryan, I'm throwing it to you, is he's the kind of player for me that I hate playing against. I just feel like he's that player that if he doesn't play for your team, you hate him. But boy, if he plays for your team, he's one of those players that you're going to love because everyone else now is going to hate playing against him. And if he comes into this side, just look out. He's the bee's knees for me. That would be the most exciting signing that for me personally we could that's the signing that would make me the happiest this year if we did it, quite frankly. Like I know that might be really that's a hot take, but
that's the hot take for him. I like it.
It would trip my trigger, man. I have been on that Bruno G train for a while. I've wanted that dude for a while. And if we actually pulled that off, it's just like, you know what it is, boys? You know what it would be for me? Vindication. Vindication that I know what I'm doing, that I know what I'm talking about. That's what it is.
You get this one right. You get this one right. You got the Azteca one right too. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. OG has no idea. He doesn't even watch. He doesn't even know that Leo had an assist tonight. He doesn't watch. He just looks at stats. That's all he does. That's how he analyzes everything. He just looks at stats. OG, I'm just winding you up. Real Ryan, Bruno G, take it away.
If we can do it, yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, I've already talked about how, I think some guys are going to need some time before they get back. I mean, yeah, he's a stud. I mean, and you can do the whole thing about, well, there's not going to be any resale value, and it's just, the wages or the outlay of the transfer fee, especially since Newcastle's getting absolutely rated right now. They're not going to, make it easy by any stretch of the imagination. But I go back to OG's point where it's just like, I don't care. Just defend the title. So, yeah, if he's down and he's angling to make a move, I feel like these little rumors don't come out unless, an agent starts to poke around to kind of see whatever reported fees I'm good with. It's not, 100 million. I think it's something in like the 60, 70 range potentially.
Yeah.
Because when everyone's healthy, I don't think you want to F with that midfield, man. There's just a lot of, some good players in there, and you can mix and match. You can, like they always say, like styles make fights. And I mean, you can get, Bruno and Rice and, whatever you want. I mean, I think it would make our midfield pretty terrifying, to be fair, because there's just a lot of the guys can do a lot of different things and you can move around a little bit. So yeah, if we can do it, I'd say we should. I have no problem with it, but with Miles and in minutes, that's always, sensitive because we all love him. But I don't know. I just feel like if we want to do this, compete on all four fronts and everyone be fresh, for the Champions League, like we're just going to need a lot of good players because, not to make this a long thing, but, you go and buy Norgard to eat up some minutes from some places and, it doesn't happen. Declan Rice out on his ass, every game for 90, he doesn't trust anyone enough. And this is maybe another Arteta thing that we'll talk about, but like, he doesn't trust anyone enough to take big minutes off some of these guys. So like, I think he would probably trust Bruno. You know what I mean? So if that's what it takes, then fine.
Yeah. All right, OG. I'm very curious. I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not sure I know how you feel about Bruno G. I just look at it. I'm like BG, BG. This is just. It's meant to be.
The man constantly bitches about our attack and how we don't have anything, don't have any bite, we're toothless, and he gets his fucking old ass dick hard at Bruno Guimaraes. Like, what do we?
How do you know that it gets hard?
He passes.
Yeah,
the
I don't
ball.
even know. I don't know. You're right. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I
don't know.
kind of thought it was a lot funnier in my head.
I don't get. It's funny because you texted me. You don't understand me. I don't understand you. But no. But he's an asshole. He's a cunt. I don't like him. And
That's why I love him.
at first, I didn't want it. I was like, no. I put him in the bin with Anthony Gordon. I was like, anybody but them. I don't want them. Stay away. You're assholes. You're not the good Ben White kind of cunt. You're just an evil asshole. Elbows Jorginho, and like you're just a dirty player. And then I kind of watch him a little more. Watch him play for Brazil. Watch him play for Newcastle. I'm like, yeah, he's pretty good. Saw some stats. I'm like, oh, you're like pretty good. And I don't know how I feel. I'll probably change my opinion tomorrow. Right now, I think if we can get a deal done, we do it. He, to me, is like a more durable, robust, physical Thomas Partey. He likes to carry the ball. He likes to progress it. He's all about getting into that final third. You do have a point, BG. He's a bully, and I think if he's on our side, I think it could definitely help. Now, other turn of the coin is we do this every year. We recruit old midfielders, and they don't play much unless we need to. Example, Jorginho. Didn't really play much. He's kind of a leader in the locker room. Fine, whatever. And then you have this year, you have Norgard. And I think we've done it before Jorginho, but I'm too lazy to think back. Then you have Norgard. Didn't even, again, another leader from another club, came for locker room purposes. He didn't play at all, which I still like. That's like, I'm still kind of angry about that. And he's probably leaving.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
I think the whole Norgard situation with me, it doesn't sit well with me still. But I think when we first got linked with Bruno, I was even like thinking like, well, I definitely don't want it. We're pushing this Norgard guy. I don't say this Norgard guy, but we're pushing Norgard out. And I think back to his announcement video and like him doing the pictures, his son wearing the jersey, and him getting emotional, seeing his son in the Arsenal shirt. And I'm like, we didn't even play him. Like, we didn't even like give him the time of day. And like, he was the captain of a pretty decent Premier League team. I mean, I don't think Brentford are winning the title anytime soon, but like, they're a solid club. They're like a mid-table team. And so I'm not expecting him to come guns blazing, starting the 11 for us, captain the side the very next year. No, but I don't know. I think it was more of, again, a Jorginho buy where, we're bringing you in for leadership reasons. We're bringing you in to really keep this culture going, be a presence in the locker room, be a leader. And that is something that Saka and Rice alluded to when they were being interviewed on the pitch for the trophy celebration. They talked about Norgard and how he was big and instrumental in leading the charge to winning the title. And I don't know. I feel like almost a little dirty, and I get it. We have to improve. We have to upgrade. And that's the thing too, is like when Norgard came on, the 2-3 times he came on, I thought he was phenomenal. I thought he was great. And it's just like, we're going to just push him aside like it's no big deal and bring in someone who every time we play Newcastle, I don't like him. I can't stand him. I just get angry when I see him on the pitch.
Can I give you another hot take?
Yeah.
On why I think we're in for him. I think Zubamendi gets sold next year. I think they're covering. That's not me saying that's what I want. because you will certainly rehash my words from the beginning of the season with Zubamendi. I think that there's something there. I don't think they're enamored with Zubamendi, and I think they want to. I think they feel like Bruno G would be an upgrade on Zubamendi.
I don't disagree with that, but again, like I go back to our track record and how we're signing these older midfielders and they're not doing anything. But I don't really see Bruno as a leader. So like maybe he is. I don't know. I don't know enough about him because I just can't stand him.
Well, as far
but
as
on the
real,
pitch,
real quick,
yeah.
just the leadership thing. I will say this. I don't know that you're going to top Declan Rice with anybody that you bring in, especially at this club, in terms of leadership. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Well, no, I don't really think I mean leader as in wearing the armband on the pitch. I think you think leader, you think of like in the locker room, pushing forward the culture and what Arteta's brought to the team, the Jorginhos, the Norgards. I don't know if Bruno fits that mold. So now I'm thinking like, okay, we're probably bringing him to give him some actual minutes. And I actually don't disagree with your Zubamendi take. I don't know if I don't want to go as far as to say I agree with you, but I don't disagree with it.
Again, it's not. That's not me saying that's what I want.
No, I know.
I think I just had it. Like I've seen some things, and I think there might be something that's why I'm saying it.
But yeah, but like I don't. Again, I don't really know how I feel, but I do think Bruno can be a vital part of this midfield, and I think this midfield is very tricky. I don't know. I think it's funny we talk about the attack and we want to make the attack better, and we need to be better. We need to score more goals. And like, what do we do? Who do we bring in at left wing? Who's our striker? Who's our best striker? You know, do we want Nani to start and Saka to come on at halftime? Like, there's just so many like things we could do. But I feel like the midfield is more of a puzzle to me. I don't think Rice, Odegaard, Zubamendi is the answer. I really liked Miles Skelly, but like, how does he fit? You know, and I think the attack. Obviously, the attack needs a personality. It definitely does. But I think the midfield is I think it needs the most personality. I think the attack needs flair. I think we need more flair in the attack. Again, shout out Trossard. Trossard had that flair. He had that finishing flair that we need. Marino kind of has it. He has that finishing flair that we need. But the midfield.
Mike, did he just compliment Leo Trossard?
I complimented him early on when I talked about it.
I know.
But yeah, I think it's very interesting to see what
counterpoint with your, because I feel like you're intertwining Norgard and Guimaraes a lot. One, Guimaraes has throughout his career been a substantially better footballer.
Oh my God, Stan, a man after my own heart.
And then two, Guimaraes is 4 years younger.
So well, no, I'm intertwining them because you know every year we make this signing. Every year we make a signing of an older, not like retirement, but like older midfielder that comes in on a 1-2 year contract. And I think this is a little different because I think did we get Jorginho on a free? I don't know, but we didn't pay much. Didn't pay much for him. We didn't pay much for him, that's for sure. And we didn't pay much for Norgard. And I think we have to pay a little bit for Bruno. That's why I think we're serious with this Bruno thing. And I think the fact that we're serious with this Bruno thing, I don't foresee us selling Zubamendi. I'm not going to go as far as to say that, but I think Arteta thinks he needs to really like develop the personality more in the midfield, and he wants to kind of like mix and match. Because to me, cool, Zubamendi started off the season really well, kind of ran to the ground and kind of had a little bit of a lull. And then, you know, you have Miles Skelly. Okay, cool, like fine. But we have Miles Skelly now, so everything's going to be okay. But no, we're still really heavily linked to a midfielder. So, and I'm not saying we don't need a midfielder. I'm very curious how Arteta wants to take this. I'm very curious what he plans to set us up for especially the first couple of weeks of the season. But I'll be honest, I keep going back and forth with the signing, and I don't want to say I'm excited about it, but I think given how much we're going to pay for the type of player he is, I definitely think it's a good deal, and I think it's something that we should definitely go for.
So we're gonna wrap with this. What I want us to do is we can each bring up one player that there are reasonably credible links to. Bring up one player and we'll discuss that player briefly, and then we're gonna get out of here because we're at an hour and 10. So keeping it kind of right in that sweet spot of 125 to 130, I think, is good. So. Real Ryan, I'm going to throw it to you first. So we've covered Bruno Guimaraes. Again, make it a reasonable, relatively credible link to a player that you would like to see us bring in. I'll give you first go at
it. Yeah, I mean, I'll just start. I mean, now
I will say there is one player that. Because I did say, like, hey, nothing pie in the sky. There is a pie in the sky that I have seen credible links to. He's your boy. If you want to go there, I'm just saying that.
No, but I'm not gonna go there just yet because I just feel like that's just gonna be drama for a lot of reasons. But everyone knows how I feel about said player. Maybe someone will bring it up. Who I really want to go for, and I feel like. It's someone I've wanted ever since he destroyed Liverpool is Bradley Barcola. Really just love the age profile. I think he's 23. And Ryan mentioned it too, because with the flair, and with Leo leaving, it feels like, okay, we're opening up. And I know it's not necessarily the transfer fee, but we're just opening up space. And I feel like he just slots right in to what I think we want. I think it's something that we need, and has been a problem for a while, and I've said this for years, is we just don't have anyone that can beat a man off a dribble. And, I know we deal with low blocks and whatnot, but the way that you really create issues for defense is when a guy gets skinned, someone has to rotate over. And now that person has vacated space that another player can go in. And it's just one of those things where when you watch PSG, you see how fun it is to see guys that can just beat a man one-on-one and everyone defense is rotating, everyone's scrambling. And for some reason, Doué or Dembele or Kvaratskhelia, someone's just open. And I would love for us to have that more often. I know how we all felt, during the run-in and how just much of a slog these games were, because I just felt like we didn't have that flair, any of that, ability to do that. And I think if we can add that dimension on top of what he can do in transition, I know the finishing is hit or miss, but he can create chances. And I think for us, that's just the right profile and the right age. And, he's won back-to-back, Premier or Champions League. So he's got, at least the big game type of feel with him. And I feel like it'd be, it's going to be expensive. And I don't even know if PSG really wants to sell. I don't really know what's going on there. And I know they're trying to I know they're saying Diamande picked PSG, so it's okay, how many of these awesome, sweet wingers can they hold on to? So if that's credible and we can get it done, I think we should definitely go that way for me.
Mike?
I initially really liked the link for Rogers, and then I saw the tweet where they were linking us. They were saying essentially Barcola and Rogers were the guys we were looking at for the left wing. And I got to tell you, I don't like Rogers on the left wing. I consider him more sliding into our midfield. So it's just my 2 cents on this transfer as a whole. I feel like I almost feel like we can't buy both Guimaraes and Rogers, and I feel like in our midfielders, one or the other. You use Rogers in the 8 and you push Declan Rice back to 6, or you allow Guimaraes play on the 6. So that one I find interesting. But my 2 cents about the Rogers one is, I don't know. I just don't view him as a traditional explosive left wing. So I think he should be playing from further back on the pitch. So my mindset had shifted from, no, I really don't care about Barcola, to, well, if they're going to choose Rogers for being a left wing, I'd rather Barcola, because at Barcola you can make that the it factor thing with him. Like, he is just a madman on his day. He does take on players like healthy Bukayo Saka used to do 3 years ago. And I don't mean that as a dig. You guys know I was disappointed with his last season, but I'm more and more as time goes by, we're made more aware of the injuries that he's trying to work through. But I like the explosiveness of Barcola. The only thing I was going to say about Rogers, just to add to that, was, yeah, if we're bringing him in as a left winger, I kind of feel like it's almost like that experiment where we tried to put Eza in the left wing and then he got murdered by Cash and we didn't see him there again. Like, I kind of view him kind of like Eza, just substantially better and probably good at penalties. So that's where I'm at with him.
So harsh.
Hashtag spell
so
Eza.
harsh.
So
Woo!
floor is yours, Ryan.
Don't hold back, man. Don't hold back.
Hey, Rena Shabash 7942. I butchered name. Kavaskela would be a great signing. Yeah, I think having like pie in the sky.
It's pie in the sky. It's not going
BG
anywhere.
asked us not to go like too crazy, but Kavaskela would be probably my number one pick at left wing.
OG.
Honestly, I don't really have one. I'm going to quickly talk about two players that I like, and for one reason or another, I don't think they're coming to us. One player, I guarantee you, none of you guys know who we're linked with. I actually just found out today we were linked with him, but I think it's something stupid. But first, I'll talk about Boudouadi from Morocco.
That's a player that you don't think any of us know about?
No.
He
Okay.
has
All right.
immaculate Guendouzi hair.
Yeah. I think he's a great midfielder. He mainly plays as an attacking midfielder, but he can play as a defensive midfielder. I think he's had a pretty good World Cup. Definitely bringing some attention to him. I know we're very interested in him, but I'm hearing, rumblings that he wants to start wherever he goes, and we're not doing that. I don't want him for that. But he's definitely an interesting signing. I would be very interested to see if we could get him. And again, I defend the title first, but he's definitely someone for the future. The player that I just found out we were apparently linked to, it was a Talk Sport linked us to him, is Felix Mecha of Dortmund. And I was shocked when I saw that. I didn't know. I didn't read this article, but he's a player I would love to have at Arsenal. I think he is a very tough midfielder. He can play defensive midfielder. He's not really an attacking midfielder per se. He's more of just a center midfielder. He's probably more of like a double pivot kind of guy, but he's got a great shot from outside the box. He's willing to get his hands dirty, whether it would be in our final third or the opponent's final third. I think he's just a great player, and he's not terribly old. He's 25. So I would love him, and I just like him a whole lot better than Bruno Guimaraes. I think he's not as progressive with the ball, carrying it, but I think he offers us, more creative, and I don't want to say creative, but he offers us more opportunities to score goals, which I think we all like and we all want. But yeah, I mean, that's really everybody else that we're linked with. I don't care about. I don't want. And yes, that includes Morgan Rogers.
I just real quick on the. I agree with everything you said about Boudouadi, and I did hear the same thing that he wants to start wherever he goes. So I don't know I don't know that happens. But then again, sure, we could promise him that and let the chips fall where they may once he's signed to a contract, and then just, if he decides he doesn't want to do it anymore, all right, we'll figure it out. The Barcola thing, I don't know. It he doesn't really quite do it for me. And I'm not sure that I can put a finger on why. He has everything that you guys said. I see it. I just, for some reason, I don't, it just doesn't do it for me. The Morgan Rogers thing, this is what I'll say on Morgan Rogers. He does not present well statistically from an analytics standpoint in the midfield. And he reminds me a lot of being a Victor Gyökeres type of player. He's very direct. He's a big guy, and he wants to just run at you and get a shot off, which is weirdly what we need. We have that, and it doesn't work. So I like the idea of Morgan Rogers coming in. I don't know where it works for Morgan Rogers coming in here. And I will take the low-hanging sort of pie in the sky fruit, if you will. But I agree 100% with Stan and Real Ryan. I think you're on board with this. But if there is legitimate smoke to the fire that is Vinny Jr., that's the deal that you make. And you do it because, OG, let me finish. If you have any intention, if you have any rebuttals, please just let me finish. I do believe that there is an element that of creativity that Arteta coaches out of the players. I wholeheartedly believe it. I'm not saying 100%, but I think that there's an element to it. And I think that Vinny Jr. is the player that could overcome that. And I think that might be why I'm not fully sold on Barcola, because I think that if what I think about Arteta coaching creativity out of players is an actual thing, I think he would do it with Barcola, bar none. I think Vinny's personality is such that the reasons that I don't want him, which I have said before, are to a degree the reasons that I do want him. So I'm very contradictory in my reasoning behind wanting him and not wanting him, because yeah, I want that personality, but I don't want him to be cancerous in the dressing room. And I think that potential would exist with him. But boy, oh boy, if you could bring him in and you could reel in, to a degree, that ego, man, that's the intent. That's the statement of intent signing. Are we all just laughing at the comments right now? Is that what we're? Yeah. Mike all of a sudden now believes that Vinny Jr. is now in the top 10 of wingers.
No, you gotta read that better, sir.
No, that's what you said earlier.
Yeah.
You said after this World Cup, Vinny is now in the top 10. For those that don't know, a couple of weeks ago, we went through a list of wingers. Mikey does not believe that Vinny Jr. is one of the 10 best wingers in the world. So that's why all of this is happening. That's why this is all popping off now in the chat. But with
disgusting.
Yeah. I don't know that there's a better left winger in the world right now than Vinny Jr., which is also why I don't think that deal would ever happen, because I don't think that we will bring in a superstar player where it just becomes sort of all about him. Declan Rice is a superstar, if ever there was one. But Declan Rice is not all about Declan Rice. Declan Rice is all about Arsenal. Vinny Jr. is all about Vinny Jr. Then he's all about the club. So that would be that, and that's the one. That's the one that really moves the needle for me, because I would be very, very curious to see, if nothing else, the pure cinema that would be Arteta and his risk-averse mentality to managing and coaching versus
don't.
Just wants to go at you.
Did we not win the title this year? I'm very confused. Did I have like a dream? Did I get hit on the head?
Their own goals.
And when I was in a coma, we won the title. But like I'm waking up. And did we finish 17th? Or no, that's top.
I do agree with you on that. I think the wages would also be an issue. I would be.
Vinny has Chelsea are sitting written all over him.
Please don't say that. Like I could
I could
weirdly stomach him going to Chelsea. Just because.
Oh, you know what? Now that I
I just
think
think
about
they're
it,
so
dude,
shit. It doesn't matter.
I think Vinny was one of the POSs that cost Xabi his job. So I don't think Alonso is going to be chomping at the bits to have him at Chelsea.
Mm,
That would mean they're out.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If he, honest to God, like if he ended up at City,
Yeah.
I think I'd just quit watching at that point. I think
I'd be very upset at that.
If that happened, I would just be like, you know what, you can't fight this anymore. If they're
Any
if
of
they're
you
just,
guys are like, are you guys factoring the departure of Pep Guardiola at all?
Not if they keep getting studs, you know, like it's
Fair
just
enough.
like, I mean, yes,
But
I think that is a
If
factor,
they
but
get Vinny Jr., someone's got to go. You think Semenyo and Doku are going to be like, yeah, Vinny, come on over. Come play
dude,
left.
they don't care about that.
they don't
will
they
do
are
don't give a
ruthless
shit.
that way. They don't care.
What happened to Marmoush? What happened to Grealish? Like they don't give a
Right.
shit.
Oh, Marmouche.
I'll take him.
Yeah, but
I'd take
Marmouche,
There's a player.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Marmouche is on the same level as Doku and Semenyo. I think Marmouche is more of a forward. I don't think he's a winger.
Well, I just meant that like they just buy people and they don't give a shit if they play or not. Like
Yeah.
you know,
And
so-
and most
Again,
of the
it's-
time, the players there don't care because they are, and this is why they
On
have the highest wage
400K a
bill.
week. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
chill.
they have the
Yeah.
highest wage bill of anybody in the league because people will be like, sure, I'll collect 350 to train.
Yeah,
You know,
some of the best facilities in the world. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Fine.
yeah, I'll be okay with that.
I'm not saying we're gonna go for Vinny and we're gonna sign him, but I don't think it's out of the realm possibly that he leaves Real Madrid.
I agree
Now where he
with that.
goes
I
is a
agree
different
with
story.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I agree with that.
him and Mourinho don't get along, so
Okay.
he might try to leave.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I
They
think
had the
that's a
beef.
big reason why there's so much smoke to him just leaving Madrid in
Yeah.
general.
But then you look
But-
at like where could he go? Where would he go? Like, we joke about the City thing, but I don't think he goes to City. I don't think he goes to Chelsea.
None of the Brazilians
Does
on
he
City.
go to
He's-
Liverpool?
So PSG
I
that
don't
gives us Barcola then is because wages. Who else is going to pay him that dude?
Right.
What,
No,
do we know what his wages are? Do we have any idea?
Approximately a lot.
Well, I'd hope.
Vinny. I mean, what does a not top 10?
What does a not top 10 winger make these days?
480 gross per week.
Nice.
Is that in euros though, Mike? I
Yes,
assume that's in euros.
euros.
So he's at
Yeah.
440. What'd you say? 480?
480 and some
He's
change.
Probably. So I'd call it 450 in pounds, 440.
I mean,
I do have to because it's almost like
425.
mandatory for me to mention this. And Isabella, it's probably better than Manga, who I've never seen play ever in my life. And there are links, and I consider them S tier links because I want it to be true. Gilberto Mora,
yeah,
there's there you go.
I read that today, too.
There's our left wing. He's an upgrade to both Trossard and Martinelli. Yes, I did that one for you, Ryan. And I would kill to have a Mexican at the Arsenal. I would be unfucking sorry. You guys think I'm bad with Trossard now? Let a Mexican step foot in the Emirates, boys. You kick me
don't
off.
big Carlos
Mike,
Vela fan?
Mike, do they do that? I don't think they do that over. Oh wait, yes, they. Never mind.
After
Sorry,
the mowing, sir.
Sorry,
After the mowing, they stay on the pitch for sure.
yeah, right.
Okay, I'm out. That's enough here.
Oh, no, see, it's okay. It's okay when the Mexican. makes
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Mexican joke.
That's good.
It's
So,
fine.
Mike, So Mike said more. I actually forgot about this player. We were linked with him a few months ago, but Mika Götze is someone who I really would love at Arsenal. He's 21. He's a Belgian, so he could replace our Belgian that's leaving. He's at Ajax. He's very good. He scores a lot of goals. I would love him, but again,
dribbler.
And yeah, I would love him. He could be our Munga replacement. I mean, Munga, it's like 5-year difference, but he could be our future guy. But yeah, real quick, I just wanted to say, like, you talked about Barcola. Like, I'm in BG's boat. I'm not convinced by him. Like, and I've had this issue, and I've talked to people on Twitter and other platforms. Like, okay, I agree. I don't think Barcola is the answer, but like, who is? Like, at some point, you have to be like, you have to pick, or you have to pick what's available to you. And as much as I don't think Barcola's a downgrade. That's for sure. I think he could definitely be an upgrade. I think he could be phenomenal for us. He could be amazing for us, but I don't know yet. And I don't. I'm not chopping at the bit to sign him. But again, like I don't. I I think he's the best of what's there. Um, so like that's why I'm like hesitant. I'm like, yeah, like sure, like I would love if we signed him because I just don't think anyone better is out there. I think you talk about the Gilchrist signing, like we needed a striker. We presumably took what was out there, the best that was out there. Yeah, it was like him,
That's the one
Sesto,
thing I don't want us to do.
and I agree with you. But our
Like
left
we need a
wing,
replacement now because Leo is leaving.
we need
but-
something, and that's
Yeah.
why like I sheepishly brought up Mika Gotts. He's 21, so he's young, but he can do something. Maybe I don't know. Like I don't want to just sign someone, but like our left side isn't like we are
It's a bit of a black hole.
we are the title holders, right? We need to defend it, and we need to do something. And now and I'm gonna completely contradict myself from what I said earlier today.
You get 30 seconds and
Okay, Somerville is attitude problems. I don't want Somerville. But I think if we had gotten rid of Martinelli and not Trossard, I wouldn't be so because I think Trossard is a maverick. He does what we need him to do. It would be his last year on the Arsenal contract. I think he would put everything forward. I think we could probably squeeze Leo out for one more year and then make the big signing. But now that he's gone, I think we have to make a left wing signing. I do, and I agree with Mike. I don't think Morgan Rogers is it. He's not a left winger to me. We brought in Eze. I think he's just Eze to me. We brought in Eze. I'm like, oh yeah, he can play left wing, sure. He tried it and he hasn't gone back. Now he hasn't gone back because Odegaard was hurt, and Odegaard was hurt as he came in. He got a hat trick. He did a few things. He did a lot of interesting stuff, and you're like, okay, like maybe not. And then also Odegaard's hurt. Trossard is playing well. Martinelli is putting in a shift. Yeah, we don't really need him there. So I don't know. I to be honest, I think we could have a whole nother show about the left wing signing because I think it's very important.
Well, what we've
But
established at this point is that you don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. But
You just keep saying, I'm sorry. You just keep saying, I don't know.
no, I know, and it's tough because the Barcola, all the smoke on the Barcola talk. It's just like I think it's like the Bruno thing, where it's like 1 minute I'm like, no, I don't want him. We could do better. Like we need to do better. We need to start. Yeah, we're title holders. Like we need to like defend it. But fuck it, I want to go one step beyond. I want to win the Champions League. Like I don't know if Barcola's it. But again, like who else? Who are we bringing in? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Is it Gabby Jesus off the left wing? Are we going to convert him to left winger?
I'm cutting you off.
I'm kidding.
I'm
kidding.
You're
Yeah,
You're done. I'm cutting you off. We're wrapping it up. That's it.
He's drunk.
I think, yeah. He's drunk on hearing his own voice at this point. Nope. Thank you to Yin's guys, the panel, the real Ryan. Appreciate it, man. Safe travels tomorrow. I know you got to scoot. Don't wait for me to wrap. If you want to take off, man, by all means, get out of here.
Yep.
And
See you guys.
We'll certainly be doing it again.
Later, Ryan.
Later, pal.
Later, guys.
Mike, thank you very much. I know you're a busy man. I appreciate you taking the time to jump on here with us as always.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And
Always
OG,
glad to hop on.
And OG, don't say a word. Just thank you. I don't need you to say anything else. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Good job out there tonight, all of Yins as well. Don't forget to check out the audio versions of everything on Apple Podcasts at the Arsenal Standard or on Spotify, which is also the Arsenal Standard. That way, if you can't watch the YouTube version, you always get the audio version, which, let's face it, that's the better version, so that you don't have to look at these ugly mugs while listening to us. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget, click the bell icon so that you never, ever miss a program on here. But that's why we've got the backup audio platforms if you do that as well. So leave us a thumbs up, interact with the show. We would greatly appreciate that as well. As always, it has been good footy talk. We'll see you out there.